just going to ask a few questions to these young people, and hopefully, the info that we gather, pretty much, it'll help us grow together as a church. Amen? Because we are a church. Amen? And we're comprised of young, the old, the middle-aged. So, all right, so here's my first question to these wonderful, beautifully dressed young people. What are the recent events that affect you in the world today, and how do you feel about them? Go ahead.
Well, the recent event that happened is that I lost a friend because of a person that thought that violence was the solution to the person's problems. And it made me realize that I should handle some situations better, because you never know that, like, what it can come up to, how far it can go. And it's kind of sad that it went that far to the point that that person lost his life.
So some of the recent events, some of the issues that young people are facing are violence. A lot of them, they pretty much react in violence instead of thinking about it first. Instead of, actually I just said it, thinking about it first. My second question is, what are the issues that you have witnessed or been victim of at school? Go ahead.
Well,
oh, by the way, that was Diana, just to introduce the young people to the church, and this is Elijah, one of the prophets.
Okay. There was this one kid in my school, and he was like a big guy, and everybody used to pick on him because they didn't think that he was able to do anything. And one day, like, one of my friends came to me and showed me his Instagram page, and saw that he had like karate videos of him like punching guys and taking guys down and stuff. So everybody else in my school started acting nice to him just because they didn't want to get beat up by him. And I thought that wasn't right, just to be nice to somebody because you didn't want to get beat up. So yeah.
All right, some of the issues, like what Diana mentioned and what Elijah just mentioned, violence, and what he kind of is mentioning is bullying. I don't know if anybody is abreast of what's going on, in today's schools, but bullying has become a real problem, a real issue. In fact, if I can just share with you, like it's close to home right now. A cousin of mine is being bullied, and he's only 7. He's only 7, and it's destroying him right now, and it's destroying a lot of the young people right now, too. Also, because of bullying, because we're not paying attention to what's going on in our kids' lives, some of your kids are being bullied, too, and you don't even know it. They come home, and they keep that stuff to themselves, and it's important for you to actually, ask questions about their day. Ask them what went on, what happened, because if you get to it beforehand, you can avoid harm, or because there's kids who are killing themselves on account of bullying. All right? My next question is, do you feel like the church is a safe place where you can talk about these issues? Pass the mic.
It depends on who you talk to, because some people, when you tell them what's going on, they always compare it back to like their times, how it was so much harder for them, and how you should be glad that it's only that for you, so don't sweat about it. So like personally, I have a tendency to go more to people like young adults like that just like finished university or stuff like that, because I have a feeling that they remember, they're still young enough to remember how it felt to be in that position at a certain time of their life.
I don't know if you heard that, but what Karen, this, by the way, everybody, this is Karen Arbois. And what she just said is that she kind of feels, she kind of feels like, it's best to go to a young adult because they can understand your plight, they can understand what you've been through, because you feel like the older ones may have forgotten, and they think that your experience is just like their experience, and they brush over your experience and what you're going through. And so you feel like the young adults, actually I'm not young anymore, but the young adults, people younger than me, feel like they can understand you better in the church, within the church setting. Are you hearing that out there? Are you hearing that out there? Yes, amen. So what I said before, it's important for you as older ones to develop an understanding and, a spirit of empathy, amen, to actually hear. Because as she pointed out, when you were young is different than when she's young right now, what she's going through right now. There's similar experiences, but things have somewhat intensified in this generation. Amen? All right. And the last question, somebody else was supposed to answer that? Go ahead.
I was a second question, and wait, can you say the second?
Yes, absolutely. What are the issues that you have witnessed or been victim of at school?
Okay, so at my school, I witnessed, there's not many bad things that happen in my school, but last year and also recently, just Friday, there's been a fight, and most of the time it's not for epic reasons, but it's still not right just to make a fight with it. So there is these two people that got into a fight for whatever reason, and I find it just wasn't right, because you could just talk about it or like go to someone instead of trying to create more problems.
Amen. Something that just struck me, these are all like up and coming leaders, and if we address some of these problems at church, especially the bullying, and just the violence, all these different issues, this is something that they could bring to, school and be leaders, that they could stand up and stand out, so to speak, and speak out against violence, speak out against unnecessary bullying. Amen? My next question, last question, what can the church do to make your experience better as young people? What can the church do to make your experience better?
One of the solutions could be that to think back when you were younger, maybe you had people to talk to, so to like remember how it felt to be able to relieve yourself from all that's been going on during the week. And if you never had someone to talk to, then you could remember like how it felt to have to keep it inside, or like only talk to your friends. Like, it's nice to talk to your friends, but they see everything literally the same way you do, so you don't get a different insight of how to take care of a problem. And also to be discreet about what people tell you, to not go around and make rumors or stuff. Just keep it inside.
Confidentiality.
Yeah.
I also feel that we should do more stuff together, so that we can create a bond together.
Amen.
And make it a better place.
Amen. All right. So, all right, here is your panel. Did you hear them out? Amen. She wants us to do stuff together. And also, when a young person comes to you, make sure that you hold up confidentiality as a value, because they don't want what they tell you to be spread all over. Amen? All right. So May God bless you as we transition to the next segment of today's worship. All right, thank you, young people. God bless you.